The Great Hall of Apex Prime was filled with light and noise. Hundreds of alien species sat in floating chairs that circled the central platform. Their bodies were different in every way. Some had scales. Some had feathers. Some had no solid form at all. But they all shared one thing. They all believed they were better than the small blue planet called Earth. High Counselor Veth stood at the center of the platform. His gray skin reflected the light of 3 artificial suns that floated above the station. He was tall and thin, with 4 arms and eyes that never blinked. He had led the Galaxy Council for 600 years. In all that time, no one had ever questioned his wisdom. No one had ever made him feel small. Today, we discuss the primitive worlds, Veth announced. His voice echoed through the hall. Those who have refused our generous offer of protection and guidance. A ripple of laughter moved through the crowd. Everyone knew which world Veth was talking about. Speaker Nail floated forward. She was a being made mostly of light, with a voice like singing glass. Her job was to read official messages and announce council decisions. She held up a glowing tablet. "The humans of Earth have sent us another response," Naleth said. "Shall I read it?" "Please," Veth said with a smile that showed his sharp teeth. Naleth cleared her throat. "Dear Galaxy Council, we thank you for your continued interest in our world. However, we must respectfully decline your invitation to join your alliance. We wish you peace and prosperity. Signed, the United Earth Government." The hall exploded with laughter. Ambassador Torak, a massive creature covered in red armor and muscle, slammed his fist on his chair. "Respectfully decline," he roared. "These mud creatures think they can refuse us. They have refused us 2,847 times, Naleth added. Always with the same polite language. "Polite," Veth repeated. "Yes, that is what the weak call their fear. They are polite because they know we could destroy them in a single day." Far across the galaxy, deep beneath the Pacific Ocean on Earth, Admiral Kongte watched the council meeting on a massive screen. The underwater base was silent except for the soft hum of machines. Tay was a man in his 60s with gray hair and calm eyes. He had watched thousands of these council meetings. Each one was the same. Dr. Una Park stood beside him. She was younger, with sharp eyes and quick hands that moved across translation devices. She had spent her entire life learning alien languages. She could speak 47 of them perfectly. "They are laughing at our response again," Una said quietly. "Let them laugh," Tay replied. He did not look angry. He did not look worried. He looked like a man watching children play a game they did not understand. The door behind them opened. Director Suji Wan walked in with soft footsteps. She was small and thin, with hair pulled back tight and a face that never showed emotion. She ran Earth's Intelligence Bureau. Every secret Earth had ever kept was locked inside her mind. "The Council is planning something new," Suji said. "Ambassador Torak has proposed a blockade of our solar system." "A blockade," Tay repeated. "Interesting. They want to force us to join them," Suji continued. "Or starve us into submission." Una looked worried. "Sir, should we respond? Should we show them what we have?" Tay shook his head slowly. "No, not yet. We follow the quiet protocol. We have followed it for 200 years. We will not break it because some aliens want to feel powerful. The quiet protocol. Every person on Earth knew those words, but very few understood what they truly meant. When humanity first discovered faster than light travel 2 centuries ago, they found a universe full of noise. Alien civilizations fighting, trading, conquering, and destroying. Earth's leaders made a choice that day. They chose silence. Not silence because they were afraid. Silence because they were smart. For 200 years, Earth pretended to be primitive. They sent polite messages. They refused all contact. They let the galaxy believe they were weak and foolish. But beneath that mask of weakness, humanity prepared. Suji Wan walked to a hidden panel in the wall. She pressed her hand against it, and a hologram appeared. It showed Earth surrounded by thousands of glowing dots. 12 fleets, Suji said. 12,000 ships. Hidden in our oceans, our mountains, our deserts, and our moons. Each one carrying weapons that the Council cannot imagine. Each one waiting for the order that may never come, Tay repeated. That is the key. We do not want war. We do not want conquest. We simply want to be left alone. But if they push too far, let the sentence hang in the air. Back on Apex Prime, the Council vote was finishing. Every species raised their hand or tentacle or energy field in agreement. The blockade would begin in 1 month. Earth would finally be forced to kneel. Only one figure did not vote. Elder Maureen sat in the shadows at the edge of the hall. He was ancient, even by galactic standards. His species had traveled the stars when most Council races were still swimming in their home oceans. He had seen empires rise and fall. He had seen proud civilizations turn to dust. And he had studied Earth. "You are making a mistake," Maureen said. His voice was weak, but it carried through the hall. Veth turned to look at him. "Elder Maureen, you have concerns?" "The humans have been silent for 200 years, Maureen said. "Have you never wondered why?" Torak laughed. "Because they are cowards." "No," Maureen said. "Because they are patient. Silence is not weakness, Counselor. Silence is patience. And patience is the most dangerous weapon in the universe." Veth waved his hand dismissively. "The humans have no weapons. They have no fleet. Our scanners have searched their entire system. They are primitive farmers floating on a ball of water." Maureen closed his ancient eyes. "Your scanners show you what they want you to see. I have lived long enough to know one truth. The creature that makes the most noise is rarely the most dangerous. It is the quiet ones you should fear." No one listened to him. The vote passed. The blockade was approved. The Galaxy Council celebrated their easy victory over the silent planet. On Earth, Admiral Kongte turned off the screen. He looked at Yuna and Suji with steady eyes. "They are coming," he said. "Good. Let them come. Let them learn what silence really means." The blockade arrived on a Tuesday morning. 500 warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of Earth's solar system. They formed a wall of metal and weapons that stretched for millions of kilometers. Each ship was painted with the colors of the Galaxy Council. Each ship carried enough firepower to destroy a small moon. General Minho. COK stood in the command center built inside Earth's moon. Through the viewing window, he could see the distant lights of the alien fleet. They looked like angry stars. 512 ships confirmed, a young officer reported. They have taken positions around Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn. Nothing can enter or leave our system. Minho nodded slowly. He was a large man with broad shoulders and hands that had seen many battles. But those battles had been training exercises, simulations. Earth had not fought a real war in over a century. Now war was sitting on their doorstep. "Orders from Admiral Tay?" Minho asked. "Same as before, sir. All Earth vessels remain hidden. No contact with the enemy. We watch and wait." Minho turned back to the window. Watching and waiting. That was all they ever did. Sometimes he wondered if Earth had been silent for so long that they had forgotten how to speak. The first week of the blockade passed slowly. Speaker Nalith began sending daily messages to Earth. These were not polite invitations anymore. These were insults. "People of Earth," Nelth's voice echoed across the planet, "you live on a mud world. You are frightened animals hiding in caves of metal. Join the Council now, and you may still have some dignity. Refuse, and you will have nothing." Dr. Yuna Park translated every word. She sat in the underwater base with Admiral Tay, recording each message for the archives. Her face grew darker with every broadcast. "They called us animals," she said. "They said we are not worthy of the stars." "Words," Tay replied calmly. "Words are just air and noise. They cannot hurt us." The second week brought worse insults. Ambassador Torak himself appeared on the broadcasts. His red armor gleamed as he spoke. "Humans are evolutionary failures," Torak declared. "Your species should have died in your oceans. You crawled onto land by accident. You reach space by luck. You have no place among the true civilizations of the galaxy. People grew angry. In cities across the world, crowds gathered to watch the broadcasts on giant screens. They shouted and cursed at the alien faces. They demanded action. They wanted Earth to fight back. Captain Hannah Ju felt that anger more than most. She stood on the bridge of the Silent Thunder, Earth's most powerful warship. The ship was hidden in an underwater hangar beneath the Atlantic Ocean. It had been hidden there for 80 years. Waiting for a battle that never came, Hannah was young for a captain. She had black hair cut short and eyes that burned with fire. She had trained her entire life for war. Now war was here, and she was told to sit in the dark and wait. "Admiral," she said through a secure channel to Tay, "my crew is ready. My ship is ready. Let us go out there and show them what humans can do." "No," Tay replied. "Not yet." "Then when?" Hannah demanded. "When they bomb our cities? When they kill our people? How long do we stay silent?" "Until they cross the line," Tay said. "There is always a line, Captain. When they cross it, we will answer. Not before." The third week brought the worst message yet. High Counselor Veth himself appeared on the broadcast. "We have grown tired of waiting," Veth announced. "Since Earth refuses to pay tribute, we will take what we are owed. We will harvest Earth's oceans. We will take your water, your fish, and your resources. You will watch helplessly as we drain your world dry." Still, Earth remained silent. The fourth week brought threats that made Hannah's blood run cold. "I will personally lead a force to Earth's surface," Torak declared. "I will collar the humans like pets. I will put leashes on your leaders and parade them before the council. Your children will grow up in cages, and they will thank us for feeding them." Hannah slammed her fist against the wall of her ship. "Admiral, you cannot expect us to accept this." "I expect you to follow orders," Tay replied. His voice was still calm, but Hannah could hear something underneath. Something waiting. Director Suji 1 appeared on the screen beside Tay. "Captain Ju, I understand your anger, but we need them to go further. We need the entire galaxy to see who they really are. When we finally respond, no one will question our right to do so." The Council fleet grew bolder. They sent small ships into the solar system to test Earth's defenses. When nothing happened, they pushed further. They flew past Mars. They circled Jupiter's moons. They sent probes to scan Earth's surface. Then they destroyed Neptune Station. It was a small research base, unmanned. It held only computers and telescopes. But it belonged to Earth. It was Earth's property, floating peacefully in space. The Council fleet vaporized it in seconds. 7 automated ships around Neptune were destroyed as well. The message was clear. "We can do whatever we want, and you cannot stop us." General Minho Seok watched the destruction from the moon base. His hands shook with rage. "Admiral, they destroyed our station. They destroyed our ships." "Unmanned," Tay replied. "No lives lost. The line has not been crossed." "Then where is the line?" Minho demanded. He received his answer 1 day later. High Counselor Veth appeared on screens across the galaxy. His smile was wide and cruel. "The humans still refuse to speak," Veth said. "They hide like insects and hope we will forget them. We will not forget. To demonstrate Earth's complete worthlessness, we will reduce their moon to rubble. Let this be a lesson to all primitive species who refuse to kneel before the Galaxy Council." In the underwater base, Admiral Kangtae stood up slowly. Dr. Yuna Park stared at him with wide eyes. Director Suji-One's face finally showed emotion, surprise, anticipation. "The moon," Yuna whispered. "They want to destroy our moon," Tay said. His voice was different now. The calm was still there, but it was the calm before a storm. "They want to destroy a celestial body. They want to change the face of our planet forever. They want to drown our coastal cities in tidal waves. They want to kill millions." He walked to a console and placed his hand on a red panel. "Now," Admiral Kangtae said quietly. "Now they have gone too far. Now they crossed the line." Captain Hannah Ju received the order she had waited her entire life to hear. "All fleets. This is Admiral Tay. Protocol Omega is active. prepare to break silence. Across Earth, in hidden places that no alien scanner had ever found, humanity began to wake up. For 150 years, the Galaxy Council believed they knew everything about Earth. Their scanners had mapped every mountain. Their spies had counted every airplane. Their scientists had measured every signal that left the planet. They were absolutely certain that Earth had no real military, no fleet, no weapons worth fearing. They were absolutely wrong. The first transmission, Earth sent in over a century, reached the Council fleet at exactly midnight. It was 2 words. Just 2 simple words that appeared on every screen in every alien ship. "You shouldn't." Ambassador Torak read the message and laughed so hard his armor rattled. "You shouldn't." That is their answer? That is their mighty response? He turned to his crew. "Begin the attack on the moon. Show these insects what happens to those who waste our time." High Counselor Veth watched from Apex Prime with amusement. Finally, the humans had spoken, and their words were just as weak as he expected. "Destroy the moon," Veth ordered. "Let the humans watch their night sky go dark forever." The Council fleet moved into position. 100 warships aimed their weapons at Earth's moon. Generals and admirals across the galaxy watched on their screens, eager to see the primitive world humbled at last. Then the ocean opened. It started in the Pacific. A section of water 30 kilometers wide began to glow with blue light. Then the water split apart, pushed aside by something massive rising from below. A ship emerged. Then another. Then 10 more. Then 100. The Atlantic Ocean did the same. The Indian Ocean, the Arctic. Waters that had been calm for centuries suddenly churned and boiled as vessels rose from hidden depths. Each ship was black as night and smooth as glass. Each one was twice the size of the largest Council warship. Each one carried weapons that glowed with energy the Council had never seen before. But the oceans were just the beginning. Mountains cracked open across every continent. Hangar doors that had been disguised as rock for 200 years finally revealed their secrets. Ships flew out of the Himalayas, the Andes, the Alps, and the Rockies. They rose from the deserts of Africa and the frozen plains of Antarctica. They launched from artificial islands that had pretended to be nature, preserves. Even Earth's moons joined the Awakening, Europa, Titan, Ganymede. Secret bases that Council scanners had dismissed. As ice suddenly came alive with activity, General Minho Coek counted the ships as they reported in. His hands were steady now. First Fleet, 1,200 ships ready. Second Fleet, 1,200 ships ready. Third Fleet. The count went on and on. 12 fleets. 12,000 vessels. An armada that dwarfed the entire Council Navy combined, Captain. Hannah Jew stood on the bridge of the Silent Thunder as it rose from the Atlantic. For the first time in her life, she felt sunlight on her ship's hull. For the first time, she saw her vessel reflected in the clouds above. It was beautiful. All weapons online, her first officer reported. Shields at full power. Crew ready for combat. Hannah smiled. Set course for the blockade. Maximum speed. The Council fleet had stopped moving. Every alien officer stared at their screens in disbelief. Their sensors were going crazy. Where moments ago there had been nothing, now there was the largest military force the galaxy had ever seen. "Impossible," the Council Admiral whispered. "This is impossible. Where did they come from? How did we miss this?" They had missed it because Earth wanted them to miss it. Every scan the Council had ever done showed exactly what Earth allowed them to see. Director Suji Wan had spent her entire career making sure of that. She had fed the Council false data, fake signals, and carefully designed lies. She had made Earth look primitive while humanity built an empire in the shadows. Ambassador. Torak's dreadnought faced the approaching Earth fleet. His confidence was cracking, but his pride refused to break. "All ships, open fire," Torak commanded. "Destroy them." 500 Council warships unleashed their weapons. Missiles, plasma beams, and kinetic rounds filled the space between the fleets. It was enough firepower to shatter planets. It was the most destructive barrage the Council had ever launched. It did nothing, The weapons struck Earth's ships and simply disappeared. The shields around each human vessel absorbed the attacks like water-absorbing raindrops. Not a single scratch appeared on any hull. Not a single human died. General Minho Siok's voice echoed across all frequencies. "This is Earth's Defense Command to the Galaxy Council Fleet. That was your free shot. You will not get another. Leave our system now, or we will demonstrate why Earth stayed silent." For a long moment, nothing happened. The Council fleet hung in space, uncertain and afraid. Torak stared at his screens, watching his weapons fail over and over. His pride finally broke, but something uglier replaced it. Rage. "They are bluffing," Torak snarled. "Their shields cannot last forever. All ships continue firing, and launch the Moon Destroyer." His dreadnought's main weapon powered up. It was a massive device designed to crack planets. It had never been used before because no one had ever been foolish enough to require it. Now Torak aimed it at Earth's moon. "Die screaming, humans," Torak whispered as he pressed the launch button. The missile flew toward the moon. It was fast and deadly and unstoppable. Every alien in the galaxy watched it fly. Every human on Earth looked up at their night sky. Captain Hanaju touched a single button on her console. "Activate the whisper," she said. No one knows exactly what the whisper was. Earth's scientists never explained it. Some said it was a weapon that removed things from existence. Others said it sent objects to another dimension. All anyone knew was what happened next. Torak's dreadnought disappeared. There was no explosion. No fire. No debris. One moment, the largest warship in the Council fleet existed. The next moment, there was only empty space. The missile vanished with it. 2,000 crew members gone in the blink of an eye. The remaining Council ships did not move. They did not speak. They barely breathed. Admiral Kung Tae's face appeared on every screen in the galaxy. His expression was calm. His voice was quiet. "We asked you to leave," Tae said. "We warned you not to threaten our moon. You did not listen? Ambassador Torak paid the price for his arrogance. The rest of you have one chance. Run. Run now. Run fast. And pray that we let you go." The Council fleet broke apart. Ships that had proudly threatened Earth moments ago now fled in every direction. They jumped to faster than light speed without waiting for orders. They abandoned their formation, their mission, and their dignity. They ran like animals fleeing a forest fire. In 30 seconds, Earth's solar system was empty of alien ships. Captain Hanaju watched them go. Her crew cheered around her. For the first time in 200 years, humanity had spoken, and the galaxy had finally listened. The Great Hall of Apex Prime had never been so quiet. Where laughter once filled the air, now there was only fear. Where proud aliens once boasted about their power, now they whispered prayers to gods they had forgotten. The Galaxy Council had ruled the stars for 10,000 years. In a single hour, they learned they had never been in control at all. High Counselor Veth stood at his platform. But his tall body seemed smaller now. His forearms hung limp at his sides. His eyes that never blinked were now wide with terror. "Report," he demanded. "Tell me what happened." Speaker Naleth's voice trembled as she read from her tablet. "The blockade fleet has scattered. Ambassador Torak's dreadnought was completely destroyed. No debris found. No survivors. 498 ships fled to different sectors. Many crews are refusing to return." "How?" Veth whispered. "How did we miss a fleet of 12,000 ships?" "We do not know," Naleth admitted. "Our scanners, our spies, our probes, they all showed Earth as a primitive world. Either our technology failed completely, or they fooled us," Veth finished. "For 200 years they fooled us all." Admiral Kangtae's face appeared on the central screen of the Council chamber. His transmission reached every planet, every station, every ship in the known galaxy. Billions of aliens stopped what they were doing to watch the humans speak. "For 200 years you asked why Earth was silent," Tae began. His voice was calm and steady. There was no anger in it, no triumph. Just simple truth. You believed we were afraid? You believed we were weak. You believed we were primitive animals waiting to be conquered. You were wrong. On Earth, Dr. Unipark watched the broadcast from the underwater base. General Minho Seok watched from the moon. Captain Hannah Ju watched from the bridge of the Silent Thunder. Director Suji Won watched from her hidden office, allowing herself a small smile. Earth stayed silent because we chose to, Tay continued. We discovered faster-than-light travel before any of you were born. We mapped the galaxy while you were still learning to build fire. We watched your civilizations rise and fall. We listened to your wars, your treaties, your petty arguments over rocks and resources. The council members shifted uncomfortably. Some refused to meet the screen's gaze. Others stared with growing horror as the truth sank in. We could have conquered you. We could have made ourselves rulers of every world. We had the technology. We had the power. We chose not to use it. Do you understand? We chose silence because we hoped you would grow. We hoped you would learn to live in peace. We hoped you would prove yourselves worthy of the stars. Tay's eyes hardened slightly. You did not. The screen changed. It showed a map of the galaxy with 47 dots representing council homeworlds. Then, without warning, a new symbol appeared at each dot. Earth ships. Thousands of them. They had jumped simultaneously to every council planet. Panic exploded across the galaxy. Leaders screamed for their defenses. Generals ordered their fleets to respond. Citizens ran to shelters and prayed for mercy. But the Earth ships did not attack. They simply floated there, visible to everyone, doing nothing. This is not an invasion, Tay said. This is a demonstration. We want you to understand what we could do. We want you to know that we can reach any world at any time, without warning. We want you to feel what Earth has felt for 150 years. Watched, threatened, powerless. On Apex Prime, Elder Maureen rose from his seat in the shadows. His ancient legs struggled to hold him, but his voice was clear. I warned you, Maureen said. I told you not to underestimate the Silent Ones. I told you patience was their weapon. None of you listened. Veth turned to the Elder with desperate eyes. You knew? You knew what they were? I suspected, Maureen replied. I have studied Earth for centuries. I found records. Old records from before the Council existed. Records of the precursors. The hall fell even more silent. The precursors were legends. Ancient beings who supposedly seeded life across the galaxy millions of years ago. Most scientists believe they were myths. Stories told to explain things that could not be explained. The precursors visited many worlds, Maureen continued. They gave gifts to young civilizations. Technology, knowledge, tools for survival. But their gifts were never equal. To most worlds, they gave only scraps. Enough to survive, not enough to dominate. He pointed one trembling finger at the screen, showing Earth's ships. To Earth, they gave everything. Every secret. Every discovery. Every piece of knowledge they possessed. Earth was their favorite. Earth was their heir. And Earth has been waiting to see if we deserve to share the stars with them. The council members stared at Morin in disbelief. Then they stared at the Earth ships floating over their homeworlds. Then they understood. Humanity had never been primitive. Humanity had never been weak. Humanity had been the most advanced civilization in the galaxy since before recorded history. They had simply chosen to hide. Dr. Unipark transmitted Earth's demands. Her voice was professional and clear. The Galaxy Council will dissolve the blockade immediately and permanently. The Galaxy Council will broadcast a formal apology to Earth across all channels. Ambassador Torek Superiors will face trial for ordering the destruction of a celestial body. The Galaxy Council will recognize Earth's complete sovereignty forever. The Galaxy Council will never contact Earth again unless Earth invites them to do so. She paused and looked at Admiral Tay. He nodded. You have 1 hour to accept these terms, Una continued. After that hour, Earth will stop being patient. Choose wisely. High Counselor Veth collapsed into his chair. His forearms covered his face. Around him, council members argued and shouted and blamed each other for the disaster they had created. Speaker, Aleth approached him carefully. High Counselor, what should we do? Veth looked up at the screen, at the calm human face that had shattered everything he believed, at the ships that could end his civilization before lunch. We accept, he whispered. We accept everything. Send the message now. Director Suji Wan received the Council's surrender with 47 minutes remaining. She forwarded it to Admiral Tay, who read it without expression. They surrendered faster than I expected, General Minho Seok said. If you're as efficient, Tay replied. They finally learned what we learned 200 years ago. Power is not about making noise. Power is about choosing when to use it. Captain Hannah Jew's voice came through the speakers. Admiral, the Council fleets are retreating. The ships over their homeworlds are asking for orders. Do we pursue? No, Tay said. Recall all fleets to home positions. We came to teach a lesson, not to conquer. And if they come back, Hannah asked that Admiral Kong Tay allowed himself a small smile. Then we will teach them again, as many times as necessary. The apology came 3 days later. Speaker Nalith stood before cameras that broadcast to every corner of the galaxy. Her light flickered with shame as she read the words the Council had been forced to write. The Galaxy Council formally apologizes to the people of Earth for our actions. We were wrong to blockade your system. We were wrong to insult your species. We were wrong to threaten your moon. Ambassador Torak acted with cruelty and arrogance that we deeply regret. Earth is a sovereign world, and we will respect their boundaries forever. On Earth, people gathered in parks and squares to watch the broadcast. Many cried. Many cheered. Many simply stood in silence. Finally, feeling the weight of 2 centuries lift from their shoulders, General Minho Seok watched from the moon base as the last Council ships disappeared from sensors. They are gone, he reported to Admiral Tay. All of them. Our solar system is empty, Good Tay replied. Begin the return protocol. All fleets back to hidden positions. The great ships that had emerged from oceans and mountains now began to descend again. Hangar doors opened across the planet. Waters parted to welcome vessels home. Within hours, Earth looked exactly as it had before. Quiet, simple, primitive to anyone who did not know better. Captain Hannah. Gu guided the Silent Thunder back to its underwater berth. As the ship sank beneath the Atlantic waves, her first officer turned to her. Captain, do you think we will ever need to rise again? Hannah looked at the darkness swallowing her ship. I do not know. But if we do, we will be ready. The galaxy changed after that day. News of Earth's hidden power spread to every world. Stories grew with each telling. Some said Earth had 1,000,000 ships, not 12,000. Some said humans could destroy stars with a thought. Some said Earth was protected by ancient gods who slept beneath their oceans. The truth did not matter. What mattered was the fear. Trade routes that once passed near Earth's solar system now curved away, adding months to journeys. Explorers who might have visited human space decided to go elsewhere. Parents on distant planets told their children to be good, or the humans would hear about it. High Counselor Veth resigned in disgrace. He spent his remaining years in a small house on a forgotten moon, writing apologies that no one read. Ambassador Torak's clan was stripped of their titles. Those who had ordered the blockade were tried and punished. The powerful learned that there was always something more powerful. Elder Maureen became a famous speaker. He traveled from world to world, telling the story of Earth. They could have ruled us all, he would say. They could have made us slaves. Instead, they asked only to be left alone. Remember that. Remember their mercy. 6 months passed. Earth returned to its quiet life. Children went to school. Farmers grew crops. Scientists studied the stars from their hidden laboratories. The outside universe seemed very far away. Then a new message arrived. Dr. Unipark received it in the early morning hours. It came from a small planet on the edge of known space, a world so minor that most star maps did not include it. The message was written in a language she barely recognized, full of grammatical errors and desperate hope. She brought it to Admiral Tay. People of Earth, she translated. We have heard stories of your strength. We are a peaceful world. We have no weapons. We have no fleets. A great empire has come to our system. They say they will take our resources and enslave our children. We do not know where else to turn. Please, will you help us? Tay read the message several times. His face remained calm, but Yuna could see something stirring behind his eyes. Have you verified this? He asked. Yes, Yuna replied. The Krell Empire sent ships to their system last week. The planet is called Velman. Population of 2 billion? They have no way to defend themselves. General Minho Seok entered the room, reading the same message on his tablet. The Krell are not part of the council. They were not included in our demands. No, Tay agreed. They were not. Director Suji Wan appeared on a screen. Admiral, if we respond to this message, we change everything. We stop being an isolated world. We become something else entirely. I know, Tay said quietly. I know exactly what it means. Captain Hannah Ju's voice came through the speakers. She had been listening from her ship. Admiral, what are your orders? Tay stood and walked to the viewing port. Through the glass, he could see the dark waters of the Pacific stretching endlessly above him. Somewhere beyond those waters, beyond the sky, beyond the stars, a small planet was crying for help. For 200 years, Earth had stayed silent to protect itself. They had hidden their strength. They had avoided conflict. They had watched the galaxy hurt itself again and again. But silence had a cost. It meant watching innocent people suffer. It meant letting bullies win because stopping them was too much trouble. It meant being safe while others burned. Tell them we are listening, Tay said finally. Yuna blinked. Sir, tell Velman that we have received their message. Tell them Earth is listening. He turned from the window to face his officers. And then prepare the first fleet for departure. We have new friends who need our help. General Seok raised his eyebrows. We are breaking silence again? After only 6 months? We are not breaking silence, Tay corrected. We are choosing when to speak. There is a difference. The orders went out. Deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, Captain Hannah Ju smiled as the silent thunder's engines began to wake. Around her, 1,100 ships prepared to rise once more. Director Suji Wan appeared on Tay's screen one final time. The galaxy will fear us even more after this. They will think we are building an empire. Let them think what they want, Tay replied. We know the truth. We are not conquerors. We are not rulers. We are simply people who finally decided to do something good with our power. He looked at the message from Velman one more time. 2 billion people waiting to see if anyone cared about them. 2 billion people hoping that the universe was not completely cruel. Dr. Park, Tay said. Send one more message. Yes, Admiral. Tell them this. Tell everyone who needs to hear it. He closed his eyes and chose his words carefully. Earth was silent for 200 years. We stayed quiet while the universe made noise. But we are done hiding. From now on, when the innocent cry for help, Earth will answer. When bullies threaten the weak, Earth will answer. When there is darkness, Earth will bring light. He opened his eyes. That Earth is no longer silent. In this time, we speak for everyone who cannot speak for themselves. The first fleet rose from the oceans of Earth for the second time in 6 months. They broke through the clouds and climbed toward the stars. Below them, people watched and cheered. Children waved at the ships, carrying their hopes into the unknown. Captain Hannah Ju set course for Velman. Her heart was full. No, she said to her crew, I spent my whole life preparing for war. But this feels different. This feels like something better. Her first officer nodded. We are not going to conquer anyone, Captain. We are going to save them. Yes, Hannah agreed, watching the stars grow brighter as they left Earth behind. And maybe that is what we were always meant to do. Maybe that is why we stayed silent for so long. Not because we were afraid, but because we were waiting. Waiting for what? Captain Hannah Ju smiled at the endless universe ahead. Waiting to become what the galaxy truly needed. Not rulers, not conquerors, just friends, ready to help. The silent thunder jumped 2 faster than light speed and Earth's new chapter began.